Today we are going to take some text and put it on a slope and curve. So let's get cracking. All right, so here's the story. I've got a dog. We feed her with these cups. They break a lot, so I'm going to make one that's 3D printed. Of course, step one is to measure it. Grab your ruler, grab your caliper, and let me show you how to design this. I like to always use millimeters. I'm going to 0 it, and if we measure the very bottom, it's about 60. If we measure the top, you can see it's coming in under 90. So straight up and down, it is about 120 millimeters. So once again, I don't need it perfect. I just want to make one that's stronger for taking care of dog food. To make this project faster, I am going to give you a template. If you type bit.ly/HLCup or click the link in the comments, it'll take you to this project right here. Of course, it is set to copy and tinker, so don't forget the golden rule of Tinkercad. Give a reaction before you copy and tinker. When you use this technique, it gives you an exact copy of my project. When you likely get this, I'll have some notes over here. But right now, what you've got is custom text. This is from the custom font text. If you want to see, there are 2 of these shapes. If you type CUST for custom, you'll see the flat one and the curved one. For our project today, we are going to use the curved one. I added a note right here. This one is called Shoreline Script Bold. I've got several fonts that I give away free. You can find that full tutorial with the bit.ly up above. Right now, I'm going to get these out of our way for the first part of the project. I'm going to simply do Control H to hide that. And then I'm also going to click right here and I'm going to hide the notes. And then we're going to use the awesome Sketch Revolve tool. When you bring this out, you can see these grid lines right here. It fits in a 20 by 20 grid. We're going to snap it right at the center line. Now, if you've never used Sketch before, make sure you check out the Sketch features. These are updated all the time. There are great tips in here to help you gain skills and put the wicked cool Sketch tool to good use. At any time you can close it. It's always here to go back to. If you prefer my tutorials, there is a playlist. You can find them right here. I'm going to start this project by zooming out. If you remember right, we needed to go up 120. Well, there are only 10 centimeters right here. So I'm going to build below 0. I'm also going to make a few guides. So right now I am just clicking to draw a line, and I'm going to do the radius because you'll see in a moment that these draw on both sides. So remember we had 56. So I'm going to do 25 for 50 plus 3 more. So I'm going to do 28. And I'm just going to click and I'm going to hit escape to finish that. That lets you see what the bottom of the design is going to be. Now we need to go up 120. So here's 20, here's 100. I'm going to do P for pen, and this time I'm going to choose to go 44, which would give me 88. Once again, I'm going to hit escape to finish it. And these, once again, are simply guides. Here comes our cup. If you're watching over here, you can see previews of how this works. We're going to hit P for pen. We're going to start right on top of that one, move out to the same 28, and all we do is click right up here. Now you noticed I just wiggled a tiny bit. Watch this. We can hit backspace and undo that point. Now I'm going to zoom in so I can make sure I'm extra precise, and I'm going to click right on that spot and then hit escape to finish it. We have just made a cup. Now if you look at it, you're like, hey dude, it's got a top on it. Well, if I double click to finish, go back to my guideline and delete it, now it does not have a top. How cool is that? Now I am going to zoom in and I want to find the template on the bottom. So notice that's only that one, and I'm going to delete that because there's no need. I also want to take this stroke and I'm going to set it for the size that I want to print. I'm going to choose to do 1.2 and press enter. And then when we do these strokes, it always does center line. So we do need to know that the cup is a little bit smaller than what we thought because I was doing outside measurements. So if you wanted to be totally precise, you could do this. Double click the sketch. Remember I did 1.2 for the stroke width. So if I go 0.1, I can take this line and go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it's sitting right on that line. And then I can click on this line right here. Once again, if I really cared, I can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to move it out to the exact location that we probably wanted when we chose that stroke. I don't really care about that, so I'm going to do Control Z on that one. I will leave this one the way it was just because it keeps that height the way we had found it. When we hit finish sketch, we have now got an awesome cup that is ready for 3D printing. I will hit D to drop so that it's in a location that I approve. So with our cup in place, let's get that text back. Show all, and then I want to make this once again, it's for my dog Bailey. So I'm going to put her name on it just so that we can tell what it is. Notice after you press enter, it does take a moment for these to snap. With it snapped, I'm going to bring it out front. I'm just going to use shift nudge on the keyboard. I'm going to grab these two and choose a line, L for a line. I want to go center, and I want it to be to the front edge. And I'll choose middle, although I'm going to adjust that. Now notice it makes it to this spot, but it does not fit our cup the way we want. The first thing I'm going to do is adjust the number of degrees. I'm going to type 130 and press enter and see how I like that. Once again, you snap and wait. All right, so the inner diameter right now is 50, and we're going to be out here closer to, let's try 75 or 80 to see how that looks. 80 will probably be up near the top. And I actually like that. I think that is what I'm going to use. Now I'm going to change the thickness to 7 and press enter. You'll see how this sticks out in just a little bit. As I move this close to the cup, you can see that it runs in there reasonably well. I can rotate it around until I'm exactly happy. And I'm going to make sure that it sticks a little bit in and get it to the height I want. And I just want to see it on both sides. So it's there and it's around. I'm going to just nudge this a few degrees so that it's touching everywhere. All right, so let's get this ready for trimming. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure it's all the way inside. I've got my nudge set to 0.1 or 0.25, so that way we can see it moving in. I'm going to get it to the height I want it. I'll let you know that you can also rotate it, so it's got a little bit of an angle that way. But now I've liked how that is connected all the way around, just double checking to make sure that it is completely on the cup and completely inside. With that in place, it's time to do the cutting trick. We are going to take this piece and duplicate it, Control D. We're going to make the new one a hole, and we're going to edit it. We're going to delete the line we did have, and we're going to make a new line that goes just outside it. So I'm zooming in here, and I'm making sure I'm at least 1 millimeter or 1.5 millimeters away. You can see how that shows 1.5 millimeters, and I'm going down below the shape. I'm going to go quite a ways, make sure I like the slope of what I'm leaving. I'm going to click back, and then I just want to simply go up and connect that. I'll show you this real quickly. If we finish sketch, you can see how that purple is going to be trimmed all the way around by that hole. Now it's not quite touching as much as I want, so we're going to go back to this, and we're going to take that thickness, and we're going to make it 9. Now it'll stick more out both directions, and you'll see how it's absolutely touching the part that we just made. Now we need to trim the inside with the exact same trick. Edit the same sketch. This time we're going to draw the piece on the inside, of course P for pen, and I just want to follow this line nice and close. Notice I did 2 clicks. It doesn't matter. You can separate it into more pieces. And then go up and finish it. If you miss, hit backspace and connect where you were aiming. If I hit finish sketch, now I've got 2 cutting tools, and I've got the green cup below. Hide the cup, grab everything else, and do Control G to union group. Show all to bring them back, and bang! You have got curved text completely attached to your cup. How cool is that? Of course, you could take time to print this in multicolor if you had a good reason for a cup. Mine is simply for dog food, so I'm simply going to hit export as an STL and store it in my 3D modeling folder. I'm going to name it Bailey Cup and save it. I'll quickly bounce to Bambu Lab Studio. Let's create a brand new project. If we import that cup using the 0.2 standard, I'm actually going to back this off to the 0.28 extra draft. I think that's the perfect amount of effort for a dog cup. If we hit slice plate, notice it mentions that the text is floating. I don't care. I'm going to just let that go for this shape, and notice it's going to be done in 1 hour and 19 minutes. And I'm going to ignore the warning, and let's print the plate. And an hour and 20 later, we have got an awesome cup. How cool is that? All right, so I brought it into the area where I've got the better lighting. As you can see, not perfect, but for getting dog food for our dog, it's going to be absolutely awesome. If you wanted it perfect, of course, you could print it at a little bit of an angle or let it use supports. And a quick peek at just how similar they're sized. So as I wrap up, of course, thank you very much for watching. If you want to learn more about text, I've got a whole set of text tutorials. I'll make sure there is a bit.ly up above. Obviously, I do want to say thank you to everybody that supports me via YouTube memberships. Don't forget there are 3 different levels of support starting as low as $5 a month. With any level of support, you get early access to videos. Make sure you also pay attention to the members only post. A massive shout out as well to everybody that supports me via Patreon. We are past 400 members. It has a fantastic messaging area. You can ask questions, gain skills, share designs. Of course, you can learn more with the bit.ly up above or the link in the description. Finally, friends, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget every time you like, hype, share a video, add a comment down below, or click subscribe. You're helping HLModTech get just a little bit bigger, which absolutely makes my day. Friends, have a glorious day and keep tinkering.